Welcome to Toxic Waste of Time. I'm Ivy.
And I'm Katie. Today, we are going to be talking about online friends, which definitely have the possibility to be toxic waste of time, but can also result in some lifelong friendships. But you gotta be leery of folks you meet online because we all know that the internet can be a very toxic place.
It sure can. Before we get into this, though, let's do a little icebreaker. Katie, spin the wheel.
Okay.
High heels.
Ivy, how do you feel about high heels? What's your relationship to high heels?
My relationship to high heels ended quite some time ago, but not really because I still love high heels. I just don't want to wear them.
Yeah.
I wore a pair of high heel Timberlands yesterday. I have some pink Timberlands that have like a 3-inch chunky heel on them.
Okay.
Sonny got me another pair of Doc Martens for Christmas that also have a chunky heel on them. And
Love
I
Doc
have
Martens.
I have the pair of Doc Martens that my husband bought me in Amsterdam that have a pretty good high chunk heel on it. But otherwise, I'm in Doc Martens and Converse most of the time now. I was the manager of a ladies' shoe store before I was a mom. And I wore high heels at the mall every day for...
Oh, at the mall that wears you out on those like linoleum floors?
And I was the manager of a shoe store, so I ran up and down ladders in my high heels. I did everything in high heels to the point where I couldn't really wear flat shoes comfortably. It hurt my my Achilles tendon. It was
You get little Barbie feet after a while.
And so
they say.
it took me a long time to be able to walk flat. And, you know, when I was little, and even still some now, I'm a little bit of a tiptoe walker anyway. So I think that high heels, for me, I mean, toxic, not really bad for your feet and back. Yeah, but they sure make your ass look good. Like, if you can walk in a pair of high heels, it does something for the way you look.
Yeah.
Totally.
I can see that.
But
So-
I don't wear them.
Yeah. I have a similar relationship to high heels then to you. So I guess, I mean, don't they like take away your Gen X card if you don't own a pair of Doc Martens? Like, they're like, you can't hang with us anymore.
I don't know, because when we were all kids and everybody that had Doc Martens wanted to, you know, the punks, they all wanted to come off as being poor, but you had to be rich to have Doc Martens. Like, they're expensive shoes.
But they last forever. That's the thing.
They
like, would
do.
you rather buy $150 pair of boots that's going to last you for like 10 years, or do you want to buy a $40 pair of boots every winter because they wear out?
Now, I mean, but they also take some breaking in.
Yeah.
You
got to
gotta
earn
deal
the boots.
with, you have to earn them. There's some pain involved. Like Jody, I bought him a beautiful pair of blood red Doc Martens many years
I want
ago.
some of that color. Yeah.
And they're beautiful, but he just doesn't have the patience to get past the blisters. Like, they're still here. We still have them, but he never got past that, you know?
Yeah.
And they make Doc socks for that too. And Doc Martens only come in, this has turned into our relationship to Doc Martens.
That's okay.
They only come in whole sizes. They don't come in half sizes.
Uh-huh.
So I can't wear a 6 in them. Have to wear a 7 in them. Little roomy, you know, in some of them. So, like, I have to wear the socks with the new ones Sonny got me. But I was never a Doc Marten girl in my youth. My first pair of official Doc Martens were the ones that my husband bought me in Amsterdam, and that was in 2011.
Okay. Well, so high heels. I feel kind of the same way you do. I get the appeal. I think that high heels are beautiful, and I kind of envy people that just like live in high heels and they're like, oh, I'm more comfortable in heels than I am in flats, like you were saying. But I am not one of those people. I cannot be one of those people. I have kind of large feet. I wear a size 10 in women's shoes. And so sometimes it's hard to find flattering shoes.
Yeah.
And like, you know how Peggy Hill, that's me. I feel like I relate to Peggy Hill about shoes.
Well, you know what, too? When your feet are larger, they look smaller if you're in a heel.
That's true. But the heels are so painful. And I never reached Barbie foot status for wearing them enough. If I had worn them daily, like you were saying, I might have, but being a teacher, there was just no way. Like teaching elementary school, I couldn't do it. I had to be able to sit on the floor with kindergartners and also like use a hammer to build sets. And like, it just didn't make sense for me to be wearing little dainty shoes.
But when I was in school, did your teachers wear little kitten heels like mine?
I don't really remember.
Because I was in elementary school, it was like teachers had to dress like they were going to church or something.
A lot of them kind of did. Like, I remember them dressing like, in a lot of those sort of ugly Christmas sweater type of looks.
Yeah.
You know, that was the thing.
A little frumpy.
But, yeah. I don't wear high heels if I can possibly help it. Now, if I'm going somewhere where I cannot pull off the Doc Martens or the Birkenstocks, I have a pair of like booty heels, like just low boots with a heel that look, you know, kind of professional and decent that'll fly. When I was performing in shows and I had to wear character shoes, I would have to wear those for hours and hours at a time, all through rehearsals the week before. And those just killed my feet. And I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm never wearing heels again if I don't have to. Once you dance in them and stuff, and there's some shows where you're not supposed to even sit down in your costume. Like, it's not fun. I never reached Barbie foot, dancer foot status either. So I'm a Doc Marten girly forever.
Well, we
Birkenstock girly.
I don't know who the fuck we is. Me, Ivy. When I turned 50, I sort of made a decision that I will wear Converse or Docs with whatever I'm wearing. Now, like super fancy, super dressy things, like let's say my high school reunion, I had to go buy a pair of heels. I have some heels that I really, really like. I just, you know, I got to be in a certain kind of mood. Because I
used to wear Converse all the time too, but Converse actually are not great for your arches in your feet because they don't have any arch support. So
nothing.
when I was a teacher, I would wear Converse, but I would put inserts in them, and that helped some. And I've also done shows in Converse. I've had to dance in Converse, and they are terrible for that.
Yeah, I don't dance.
So, yeah, but I do have a lot of pairs of Converse.
Well, and that's another thing I never wore when I was young. I never wore Converse.
I wore them all the time.
No, I didn't wear Converse. We wore Tree Torns in junior high school. Tree Torns were the sneaker brand. They're like a actual tennis shoe. Like you wear them to play tennis. And Vans.
Loved Vans. Loved Airwalks.
I still have Vans.
I lived in my Airwalks.
I never
lived
liked
in my platform Vans.
I never liked poofy sneakers. Like I was never into the
Spice Girl sneakers.
Yeah, you know.
I loved them.
The ones that look like you could jump in them. Nah, never was into them.
Loved it. I wanted to look like Rainbow Bright.
I moved into high heels. Like the second I went to high school, it was like pumps or heels for everything all the time. And I was one of those people who was like, I always wear heels. Blah, 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 blah. They hurt. I was not like...
Yeah, you're lying.
It wasn't like I was like...
But you're also on the shorter side, you know? So
I'm a regular size person.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
You are a regular size person. That's true. You're a totally average height. I just feel like you're shorter than you are, maybe.
I look small.
You are a petite 5'5".
I'm a little bit small. Yeah. I always tell, because Sonny is a boy, and he's the same height as his dad, who is the same height as me, which is short for boys. But that's what I always tell Sonny when he calls himself short. I'm always like, you are a regular size human.
I will tell one more thing about high heels, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
So the first pair of high heels that I remember having was, again, in dance class. I was taking a tap class, and I was slightly older than the other girls in the class because I had to, like, do remedial tap, I guess. Like, I hadn't taken dance straight through
Yeah.
till I was age 12. I had to be in the class with the 8-year-olds, even though I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put me in a pair of French heeled tap shoes. And I remember thinking that I was just the hottest thing when I put those shoes on.
Yeah, I kind of
But
want
then when
some
I
now
saw
while you're talking about it.
When I saw myself next to the other girls in the class who were 8 and I was 12, I looked like a fucking Sasquatch next to them. And it made me feel just horrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I just have that association. But I remember they were white tap shoes with a little heel. And I was like, ooh, I'm so fancy. I get heels on my tap shoes.
I love tap shoes with heels. That sounds just fantastic to me.
La Ducas or whatever they were. Capizios.
Capizio. Man, I had a pair of Capizio jazz shoes.
Uh-huh.
It would have been in 7th or 8th grade. And the blisters that came from those shoes. And they are the shoes that when I was selling shoes, when I worked in the shoe store, I found out what that squeak is when you have a pair of shoes and they squeak. It's a broken shank in the shoe. And
that's what happened to all my Converse that sound like they fart when I walk.
that's a different.
Or is that the rubber on the back?
I think that's the rubber. Yeah, I think that's the rubber. I think that's different because I don't know if rubber soled shoes have shanks in them.
Yeah.
But these shoes, it was like this, it was an embarrassing sound when I walked in them, and I would try to like change the way I walked and stuff. I didn't know that my shoe was defective. Till
Today I learned.
15 years later.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for the idea of high heels. I
Love
just
them.
am not here for the actual experience of wearing them.
You know what?
Respect to the
I'd
Barbie
like to put
feet
them on,
people.
have my picture taken, and act like that's what I'm wearing to an
That's
event,
right.
and then
I
put
can
my
take a
sneakers
picture.
on. And also,
Exactly.
if I wear something uncomfortable or something to work, I will be walking around the gym in my socks. Those shoes will be under my desk.
Oh, yeah. I would take my... when I did a few times try to wear heels to work as a teacher, because I went through a phase of like, I'm going to dress like I'm on Mad Men. And I just wore like 50s and 60s outfits every day. And I thought I looked really cute. I probably did, but it was not very practical.
Yeah. I'm sure
those
you
heels-
looked really cute.
I felt cute, but I would kick the shoes off.
Yeah.
You know, and walk around in just my tights.
Well, I mean, your
much of the
feet
time.
are all the way down there, and
Yeah.
your blood, if you're upward, it's all going down to those feet.
Exactly.
And then, like yesterday when I took off those Timberlands, my toes were throbbing.
Yeah. Yeah. Girl, same.
All right,
okay,
Katie, let's talk about online friends.
Let's talk about online friends. In order to analyze friendships a little better, Ivy did some research, and I'm so impressed with this because she's got us diving into actual philosophy here. Smarty McSmart
I'm
is going to talk
deep.
about Aristotle. Tell us about
Aristotle.
it.
Aristotle was a Greek philosopher, scientist, and polymath. Katie, do you know what a polymath is?
Yes, I do.
I had to look it up. A polymath is a person with deep expertise and broad knowledge across many different fields, driven by intense curiosity. That's my favorite part.
Yes. Some people might refer to them as a Renaissance man. I think that's a similar description.
Okay. I like the intense curiosity. I have
Yes.
intense curiosity.
I do too.
So maybe that makes us geniuses. He was also one of the greatest intellectual figures of Western history. Aristotelian concepts remain embedded even today in Western thinking. One of his writings was the Nicomachean Ethics, in which he basically says the way to a good life is to do what makes you happy. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He said that happiness consists in activity of the soul in accordance with virtue, including moral virtues such as courage, generosity, and justice, and intellectual virtues such as knowledge, wisdom, and insight. In these writings, he also discusses the role of pleasure and pain, the relationship between individual ethics and politics, and the 3 different types of friendship. Number 1 is the friendship of utility. What can y'all do for each other. These friendships don't usually last any longer than they are useful to at least one of the people in the relationship. Friendship of pleasure is number 2. These are the friends that like to do certain things together, but they don't actually go very deep and often end as quickly, if not quicker, than those of utility because people's likes and dislikes can change on a dime. And number 3, the friendship of virtue. These are the people you like for who they really are, and they like you back. The friends of virtue typically encourage you to be a better person. Both friends are self-sufficient and equal. So these are the green flag friends. Aristotle had this to say about this type of friends. While friendships of utility and pleasure have their place, it is the rare yet pure friendships of virtue that are the greatest contributors to the good life.
Very cool. So I learned something today.
You did?
Yes. I didn't know any of that stuff. I did want to point out that I think it's kind of funny, and I tease Sean, my husband, about this all the time, that he has these close friends that he has known, some of them since elementary school, most of them since high school. And they don't ever talk about anything real in their real lives. When they hang out, it's just to go play a game or whatever it is that they're doing, this activity. But, nobody is ever oh, I broke up with my girlfriend. It never comes up.
Yeah.
They just don't have real conversations. And I'm like, so how did you spend 4 hours with your friends and no one discussed the fact that so-and-so's getting a divorce? That didn't occur to anyone to ask how he was doing?
I think it's a lot of guys. My
It
husband's
must
like
be.
that. My husband's like that. And he's like, not my business. I'm just here to watch wrestling or go to the races or whatever. Not my business.
I understand on the level of, we came to play this game, Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. It's for escapism. We want to take ourselves out of our everyday life and do something else. I get that. But on a friendship level,
That's
are
the
you
friends
not going
of
to say,
pleasure.
how are you doing, But they are true friends, and they will come through for you.
Yeah.
They are really good friends.
I believe that.
They've got each other's back. I just think it's weird that they never talk about real life.
I mean, I think people like Jody just doesn't, he doesn't really talk about stuff with other people. He'll talk about stuff with me, but sometimes even then it's pulling teeth. Some people just aren't sharers, I think.
Well, you know what? My bestie Philip is not straight, and he is friends with all of these guys now that my husband is friends with. All of our friends have blended together. They will talk to Philip about real life and things going on in their life.
I believe that.
Which is really sweet and cool, and I kind of love that. They find, him to be a safe person to confide those things in, and he is such a nurturing, caring person that you just instantly trust him when you meet him. He's just that kind of person. And that's made me happy. But at the same time, I'm like, Sean, you've known these people for 20 years. And how did you not know that, this thing happened in somebody's life? So,
well, I have said before, about people who get super deep and super I'm not that friend. I'm just not that friend. I am a real, true, honest to goodness person and friend, but I'm not that deep.
Yeah.
And I like it that way.
That's okay. You can have different relationships with different people in your life, and they can all be valuable.
Yeah. Totally.
For different reasons.
Totally.
I have friends that I only know from voiceover stuff, and really we mostly talk about voiceover stuff. And that's fine. Now, Aristotle lived in 380 BC, so there was no internet, obviously. But if he were here for it, he'd likely add a fourth type of friend, the online friend.
Hell yeah.
So that's a special category, isn't it? And making friends can be really, really hard. We have always heard about stranger danger, right? Especially on the internet. But then we get hit with all these apps and social media asking us to talk to strangers. And as we get older, it just gets harder and honestly kind of awkward trying to build new friendships from the ground up. Oftentimes we just give up because it's hard. But the need for friends and support and just someone to text while watching The Real Housewives of Somewhere, and with the opportunity to forge a friendship first from the safety of our own home or car or office, that could take the edge off of the awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivy and I became friends fairly recently, which is cool and I think sort of unusual. And I really celebrate that about our friendship.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been about a year now.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, because I just celebrated the anniversary of my end of my job with Crazy Train.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you want to be more than friends with these people that you meet on the internet, Ivy?
Well, I don't know because, I got married as a child, but online dating began with Kiss.com in 1994, which was followed
Wasn't
shortly
a fan
thereafter.
site for the rock band?
Yeah, Kiss.com. They
want to rock and roll all night?
I guess Kiss didn't jump on that before.
They didn't buy their domain.
Yeah. It was followed shortly thereafter by the most popular, probably Match.com in 1996. And in that same year, Andrew Conrue, I did not Google how to say that last name, Andrew Conrue, who some say started the whole online dating thing himself with web personals, he created the Adult Friend Finder, or friendfinder.com, as an internet-based, adult-oriented social networking service, online dating service, and swinger personals. It was a community website, not actually intended for platonic friend finding. So,
correct.
Enter
so there has
social media.
Many the middle-aged person went to friendfinder.com thinking it was for finding friends. And turns out it is for finding much different than just friends, I guess. It's specifically... to me, my impression of it was that it's very much like a one-night stand situation most of the time.
Like Tinder?
You're looking for there. I guess like Tinder, but I've known people that are married that met on Tinder.
Oh, me too. Yeah. So. No, me too. But I think Tinder started out as a hookup.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Now, I have too many opinions about online dating, so we are saving those for next week's episode. Spoiler, that's what we're talking about next week. Gird your loins. But as for platonic friendships with folks I met online, I've really only had good experiences. So we're going to focus on those today.
Same. But I have had zero experience with online dating or really any dating of any kind. But I have watched my friends go from, don't tell anyone we met online, to, duh, we met online. Where else would we meet?
Yeah, that's how I am.
Back in my day, we had personal ads in newspapers and pen pal opportunities. But there were actually computers and things going on that were just not really mainstream. Way back in the 70s and 80s, the University of Illinois developed what they called the Plato system that even had a sort of chat room called Talk-O-Matic, because everything was O-matic back then.
The Bassomatic?
Everything was O-matic. Like, what the fuck?
You remember the Bassomatic?
No. What is Bassomatic?
Dan Aykroyd on SNL and the Bassomatic. Oh, okay, that's a tangent. I'll show you later.
All right. Well, anyway, then in the 80s and 90s, when operating systems using a graphic user interface began to emerge, we started seeing online bulletin boards and instant messaging. And in 1985, the Whole Earth Electronic Link, that was a reach there to they wanted to call it the well, so they took the E off electronic. Whole Earth Electronic Link was the first and now the oldest, because it is still a place you can visit on the interwebs if you have an account, which I do not, so I couldn't check it out. It was the first virtual community. The Grateful Dead fans used it to communicate with each other about following the band. 1985. I was still in high school and none the wiser about such things.
I was 2.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks for that input.
But I knew about Dan Aykroyd, so
And I was wearing high heels.
Yeah, you looked great,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so once the World Wide Web became actually worldwide and we started seeing things like blogs and Yahoo groups and AOL instant messaging and MySpace and Facebook and LinkedIn, in the early internet days, I was into those chat rooms, talked to lots of strangers in there that I probably shouldn't have been talking to as a teenager.
Right.
I was hella on AOL Instant Messenger. I spent countless hours waiting for my crush to come online on AIM
Oh.
and only to see him appear and immediately disappear.
Right.
Gunk.
Oh.
He's gone. I had text conversations from AOL Instant Messenger that I saved, and I would like copy paste things that people said to me and save it in a file. I was a lot.
That's so cute.
Then came Twitter and Snapchat, and strangers from pretty much anywhere started interacting from the comfort of their own homes. And then, with a handheld computer in everyone's pocket, apps became a thing, and the online relationships began to look less weird and more acceptable.
Yep. I really have a lot to say on the topic of online friends and Yahoo groups and stuff like that. My kids were very young, like 3 or 4-ish in 1999 when we got the internet. Thanks, Al Gore. We would dial up a connection, and this little guy would pop up in the lower right-hand corner and announce, "You've got mail!" And we would surf around on the old World Wide Web, and somehow, at some point, I came across Yahoo groups and found some mommy groups. And I was a young mom, young-ish, and none of my friends had any kids. And I really had no one to talk to, no one to relate to about kids and having kids and the joys and struggles of kids. So I found this group called Gorgeous Young Mums. And I thought, well, I'm gorgeous, I'm young, and I'm a mom. Sign me up. And I'll never forget it. I was denied access to the group. I got a message. Yeah, I got a message. Jody was at work. I got a message, and it said that either you're not gorgeous, you're not young, or you're not a mom. And so we're not going to talk to you. I was devastated and so new to the internet and stuff. And so I thought I was just stuck not having any mommy friends to talk to. I was in the bathtub that night, and Jody came home from work, and he came in, and I remember sitting in there crying about it. And he was like, "Why don't you just send them a message and tell them that you are gorgeous and young and a mom?" And I was like, "Oh. Okay." So I did.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, that's just one of these like safety things." They were like, "We don't even control it. It just goes out there."
Oh.
So this began lifelong friendships with many of these women and several more from spin-off groups. And I'm still friends. One of them lives close to me now. I've traveled to meet some of them. Like, it's been a pretty amazing group of women.
Mm-hmm. That's so sweet and wholesome, and I love that so much for you. I do not have children, but I can absolutely imagine how that might feel, just sort of isolating when all of your real-life friends don't have kids.
Yeah, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't go to I didn't go to work. My kids didn't go to daycare. At that time, when my kids were 3 and 4 years old, it was like I had no one to talk to about it. Mm-hmm. And then when they did go to like anything, I was either younger than all the moms or older than the moms that had kids when they were teenagers. I didn't fit in. I still don't.
Yeah. How does one make online friends nowadays in a non-cringy way? Well, as a wizened elder millennial, let me tell you, I don't really care about being cringy. It's way more freeing just to be yourself and live your life. Mm-hmm. And I got several comments on one of my TikTok videos where they just said cringe.
People just commented the word cringe?
Somebody made a burner account to comment cringe on several of my videos.
I love that.
Then disappeared. So, whatever, it's kind of funny to me. So for me, it turned out that making new friends happens sort of by accident. I was trying my hand at doing live audiobook narration on TikTok, and I wanted to make a group of my followers who I had connected with already, and I knew they were cool and real people, so I could share my live with them.
Mm-hmm.
I named this group Important People, not realizing they could see the name of the group. And I added about 8 people to the chat. Then I just went live and I sent them the link. While I was live, unbeknownst to me, those 8 women were chatting and joking with each other about how important they felt to be chosen. And they discovered that they had a lot in common. And it was the perfect blend of independent authors, narrators, and voice actors of various experience levels, ages, and backgrounds. Now, since TikTok messaging sucks, we have moved over to Discord, and we chat every day. And it's been at least 6 months or so since that happened. Yeah. I just think it's really funny that I named it Important People.
I think it's really funny that you didn't know that they could see that.
I didn't know.
And that they're all like chit-chatting about. I thought that this was going to a place of, and now they're all best friends and they don't talk to me.
No. We have a Discord group and they're a blast. So yeah, it's been really nice to have this group of, and they're all women.
Yeah.
To bounce ideas off of, and I've kind of helped some of these folks through beginner voiceover things. You know, I'm kind of the most experienced voice actor in the group, but I'm not an author.
Right.
And so there's author input from a lot of those folks and so it's just cool to see both sides and to actually get to know each other and just have a safe place. And Discord is cool because you can sort of categorize your conversation. So for instance, there's some of us that like to talk about Taylor Swift, and there's a chat room for that, basically. So if you don't care, then you don't have to read that. You can just not go in that chat room.
Yeah,
and you
that's
can read
cool.
the general chat or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, thanks, ladies. One day when this podcast makes some money, I might buy a plane ticket to come meet y'all in person.
Oh, I hope you do.
And I told them I was going to shout them out.
Yeah, I hope you do.
So, yeah. One of the things we really like to do is complain about creepy people that we have to interact with through our jobs or through the internet or whatever. So we have a like a hall of shame where if somebody sends us like a creepy DM, we post it there and make fun of them. It's just it's great.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So just like friends you meet in person, the ones you meet online will have different roles, different levels of intimacy, different styles, etc. Some you may meet in person, some you may never meet in person, but the connection is real. If the conversations go beyond the surface, they are most likely a real friend. Okay, so how else could we go about meeting friends online if you don't want to just make a group and call them important people?
That's so adorable. Well, as far as meeting friends online and how to do it, of course, Cosmopolitan Magazine has the answer.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. In an article published in Cosmo this past July 2025 called 12 Friendship Apps That Can Actually Help You Meet New People as an Adult. In the article, psychotherapist and relationship specialist Stevie Bloom is quoted saying, "The fact that these apps even exist says a lot about the very real challenges many people face in making new friends. Just downloading a friendship app and seeing how many people are also looking to connect can be surprisingly comforting."
I can see that. Just feeling like you're not alone and you're not weird.
Yes.
You know. And using an app or a social media site, you can actually go ahead and narrow down the findings by searching for things specific to your own interests. You can also close the parameters so that you can find friends close to you if you want. And now, what you've all been waiting for. Here are the top 12 places online where you can make new friends and maybe even a new BFF, according to Cosmo.
All right.
Yay.
Number 1, Yubu. I think that's how you say it.
What?
Y-U-B-U.
Could be Yabu.
Yabu. Yabu.
Yabu.
It's Yabu. Who's calling?
It's me.
Yabu.
Yabu.
It's me, Yabu. Anyway, this one is cool because it has a catfish-free video chat feature where you can choose to use their version of FaceTime without giving out your number so you can see to whom you are chatting. Number 2, LMK. And I can't figure out what the heck that stands for, but the feature I found cool on this one is the voice chat timer. So if you want to extend the call, you can, but if you're just not clicking, the call just ends with the timer.
So LMK stands for let me know.
Is that like a thing I should know?
It's the thing you know now.
Okay, thanks. Oh, is it one of those?
No judgment.
Okay. Well, it didn't even say it. Like in the article, it's just each one gives like a little blurb, and I'm like, are you not going to tell me what LMK is?
Yeah. It's one of those text abbreviations like LOL, which means lots of love.
It sure does.
Yeah, according to Ivy's mom.
Yeah, and a whole ass article I saw about it when I was researching this.
The cancer came
not
back,
the
LOL.
only one. Katie, what's the next one?
Okay, the next one is Bumble BFF. Just like the dating app, but for friends. You still swipe right on the ones you think would be a cool drag brunch pal. And I met my husband on Bumble, so yeah, I'm a fan, but I haven't tried the BFF one. Next is Wink. Similar to Bumble, and you can add your interests and match with folks with similar interests. Cosmo called this one like Tinder for friends.
Nice.
So I don't know why Bumble would be different than Tinder for friends, but whatever.
Number 5 is called Hey, Vina. This one is just for the ladies.
Okay, that's all.
Yep. And the number 6 is Plora. This one used to be called Bloom. It's for folks in the kink, queer, sex positive, and BDSM communities, so they can meet people with similar interests in a safe and monitored community.
Now, that one sounds like you're looking for more than friends, but I'm not part of that community, so maybe not. Maybe it's not always like that.
No, I think
maybe
those people need friends, too, like
friends that won't judge you for
friends
being
that
in
won't
that
judge
community?
you, friends that you can talk to about being in these communities, I think, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. So next is Peanut, which is so cute.
Isn't
That's
it?
the cutest name. This one is for moms to meet other moms, which, like I said earlier, can be hard for new moms, which I can't relate to, but I can totally see. Like when you're taking care of a young kid that takes all your time up and you don't have anything else to talk about with people that don't have kids, it probably feels pretty isolating. Good that that's out there. Next is Athleto. It's all about helping you find people based on your favorite sports.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you want to put together a game of basketball with some homies in the neighborhood, there you go.
You know what I think is cool about all of these things and meeting people online versus meeting people in real life? The sorting that you get to do before you actually have to spend time with them.
Yes, and that is the main sell for online dating as well, in my opinion.
Yep. So the next one is Meetup. Meetup is pretty popular. It's more like meeting people in a group setting, which I think is neat. I think I've always thought Meetup was a pretty cool kind of thing.
Now, I've gone to some networking things that were through Meetup, and I wasn't a huge fan of their, like, interface. Like, it just was kind of confusing to me. I remember being like, did I pay for the thing? I don't know.
Well, Crazy Train used to use Meetup, and I used to have to deal with it for her. And
is it annoying?
It was a little bit confusing. There's so many groups. I think the concept of it, if you are a sane human being, the concept of it is you go and you meet with these groups of people who are doing certain activities that are mutually enjoyed. And so the chances of you actually organically meeting someone are still there because you're in a group of people who just say like to hike or just like to play board games. And so then you don't look at the list of people. You don't say, I want to hang out with this person, and this person. You just go kind of like you would go to a bar with a friend and maybe meet strangers there. Same concept. That's what I think is cool about it. There's still that possibility of organically meeting someone. But right now, in this political climate that we live in, I think it's a good idea to weed things out first. Anyway, number 10, Friended. This one feels less like a BFF finder and more like posting anonymously on Reddit. It basically just lets you share your thoughts with folks in a controlled environment.
So just like I got a confession.
Yeah, I think it's got the worst name because it's literally called Friended, but it's all about posting anonymously just so you can
Okay.
vent things.
Huh. I'm sure some people enjoy that. Doesn't sound appealing to me.
No, me neither.
Scout. Scout is for dating and friends, and it's been in the Finding Folks game since 2007. They are clever in their name. You use it to scout whatever it is you're looking for. And lastly, number 12. And this one was hilarious to me that you put this on the list, but Cosmo wrote it, so we're just commenting on this article out of Cosmo, okay?
Right.
Number 12 is NextDoor. No! No one is on NextDoor that wants to be your friend. They want to sell you a new shower, but they don't want to be your friend, okay? Ew, Cosmo, you dropped the ball on that last one. I can't even get NextDoor to stop emailing me bullshit every day.
Do you
like
when I got to number 12 and like reading an article online, as you know, while you're scrolling, there's like ads in between the like numbers and stuff. So I'm scrolling to get to number 12. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? NextDoor? I will literally go on, if I get like a notification on NextDoor, I heard gunshots or whatever.
Oh, God.
Not me. That's people are post that. There's this car that backfires all the time. So there's constant, oh my God, was that a gunshot? Anyway, I have literally seen people be like, I'm new to the neighborhood. And someone actually commented, we don't want to be your friend. Like, because people, I think that bots go in there and do that. I've seen it so many times where people are like, my name is Pat and I'm new to the area and I like fishing and sports. And people are like, no one asked you. People on NextDoor are mean.
They are.
They're mean. Don't be their friends.
When we found this cat, we posted on NextDoor because maybe someone in the neighborhood was missing a cat. And I just wanted to like, hey, we found this cat. And not a person gave a single flying fuck on NextDoor.
No.
I got no replies whatsoever. Now, on Facebook, I got several people that it wasn't their cat, but they were like, engaging with me about it and leaving comments and stuff.
You go to NextDoor if you want to talk to assholes.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, NextDoor can fuck off. I only joined it because my HOA made me, and I regretted every second of it.
Your HOA made you join NextDoor?
My HOA has too much power. They were like, you join our thing on NextDoor so you can have access to the blah, 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 blah. And then we got a different HOA, so I don't even think it matters anymore.
Gross.
Now, before we discuss where online friends land on our toxic scale, let's talk about safety, okay? Here's some tips for your safety. We have a little list for you. Always meet for the first few times in a public place. Even if the first time you meet them, it's magical. Take 2 cars. Do not ever get in the car with someone you just met, even if you've been chatting online for ages.
Absolutely not. Yep. And tell someone or someone's where you are going, what time, and with whom. And while you are out, keep those friends posted as the meeting progresses.
Yeah. Don't give out your home address.
Just don't be a creep, okay?
Don't be a creepy. Don't be creepy. If you're traveling to meet, be sure you each have your own accommodations. Don't plan to share a room. I know it's more expensive. Just deal with it.
Right, because these tips may seem a little strict, especially when you're meeting a platonic friend, but it's always best to play it safe. Next week, we'll get into way more safety for online dating.
I have a thing that just occurred to me that I feel like we should point out.
Okay.
Are you familiar with pig butchering? Is this a phrase you've ever heard?
Not in any aspect other than actually butchering a pig.
Okay. Yeah. In a non-literal sense. So this is what it is. And this is something, listeners, if you don't know what I'm talking about, be careful. This is a bad thing that people do. Okay. So pig butchering is like when someone sends you a message out of the blue and It can usually, it can start as just like a oops, wrong number situation.
Okay.
But there's also other, messages that just come out. They might just send you a genuine message that's just like, hey, I really liked the thing you said about whatever. And then they just start engaging you in conversation. And it seems natural and organic. What their goal is to build an emotional connection with you so that you then feel guilty for them after they've shared their problems with you, and you might be inclined to send them money to help out with their situation.
Yeah, don't send money to people you've
Don't
met on the
send
internet.
money ever to people that you've met on the internet. Just don't. So if you feel like you may have had a relationship like that, that's a hella toxic online relationship. And you can just Google that phrase, and maybe don't Google image search that phrase.
Yeah.
But
right.
that's what that refers to. And there are people who have been taken for thousands and thousands of dollars through these scams. And it's just people that are like exploiting someone who wants to be kind. And that really pisses me the fuck off.
And people who are actively looking for friends.
Yeah, and you might have been lonely,
and
you were happy to connect. Yeah,
You might not be lonely, you might be fine, but you might also be lonely. You might be looking for a connection. And people can suck even worse when they're sitting behind a keyboard.
Absolutely.
Like, people who you may never have thought were going to be like a piece of shit human being can get behind a keyboard and be that. And as far as the safety issues go, one thing that I remember from, I listened to a lot of true crime. And there was a story years ago about a girl who made a friend online, and they made plans to meet. And the friend that she met was just basically getting people for her boyfriend he killed her. He killed the girl. So
wait. So the person that she met was like finding victims for a serial killer?
I don't know that it was a serial killer, but it was it was one of those things where he was telling his girlfriend they wanted a third.
Okay.
And so the girlfriend found a friend and brought that friend home. So
did she know what was going to happen?
No.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying. So that's why we're saying, even if the first time is magical, we're saying we're giving you these safety tips because we know you want to meet a platonic friend, but sometimes the other person's intentions are not the same as yours. And you have to be safe in everything. You'll know after a few meetings and stuff like that if the person is going to be a good friend or not. But you just have to you just have to get to know that person in real life also, because anything you meet, read, or see online might not be as it appears.
Absolutely. So beware that there are shitty people out there who want to be shitty and either catfish you or get money out of you or exploit you in some other way. Follow your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, trust your gut. And if you see red flags, make a note of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's also
consider
fantastic people out there. And there's wonderful people who are new to areas that want to make new friends. And there's wonderful people out there who, and like we said a minute ago, it used to be a lot scarier to me and a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for, Katie? It's not embarrassing, but people used to be more shy about saying I met my boyfriend online or my girlfriend online.
Yeah, and it was like taboo.
And now it's like this. Now it's like the only way to go. And I like it personally. I like like I said a minute ago, the ability to weed people out, but then also you might weed out somebody you might really like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a good bet to like meet up in a group situation. Maybe Meetup would be good for you if you can stand their confusing interface. Or just whatever kind of little group that already those people have something in common. I've actually made some good friends at our professional networking group that have become friends beyond being professional friends, beyond work friends.
But we're specifically talking about meeting people online.
Right, but those groups plan their get-togethers online, like all those things originate.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once you meet in real life, even if it's with the intention of like, this is a professional situation, you could meet someone that could become a friend.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of about putting yourself out there. And as a person who's going to tell you next week that I have been on a zillion blind dates, it gets easier.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to psych yourself up for it, bite the bullet, and go do the thing. But keep your wits about you because some people are fucking crazy.
And sometimes online friends you can meet through other online friends and you already know that they're safe because you know they're friends.
Yes, yeah. That's something that my little Discord group has done. A lot of those folks, they're more active on social media than I am. And they've been like, hey, can we invite this other person that we know that we like from TikTok that we met? And I'm like, yeah, sure. If all 7 of you like them, then that sounds good to me. And so I've met lots of people that way through them.
So I have a funny little online friend story that inadvertently includes me. I have these 2 friends. One I went to high school with, and the other I met through my husband. And I'm not going to say their names, but they're both guys. And they became fast friends, have met, have traveled together because they bonded over picking on me on the internet. That's a great way to meet friends.
Gen X love languages.
Pick on your friends, and the other friends that they have that love to pick on them will become your best friend.
Let's team up to give Ivy shit.
That's okay.
Beautiful.
All right, so what do we think about online friendships? Are they non-toxic, toxic-ish, or are they a toxic waste of time?
I definitely don't think they're a waste of time.
No, I don't
Any
either.
friendship is not a waste of time, but also any friendship has the potential to become toxic.
Absolutely.
No matter how great it is in the beginning, So I say treat this like any new relationship where you would just sort of tread lightly with caution. And sometimes you can be friends with people for years and then you find out they believe in some weird thing and you're like, holy shit, you're a flat earther?
I have a friend who's a flat earther. I still love her.
Why?
Because it's hilarious.
I'm kidding. You can. Everybody deserves love.
And being a flat earther
she's allowed
is
to be
not
wrong.
Dangerous to you or me. Like if you find
I would argue that it kind of is. Like the way that I don't want to go on a rant, but spreading misinformation on the internet is bad.
Yeah, I know,
and
but
that's
how
where
can
flat
be
earthers
the
are getting their
Earth? Someone thinking
info.
the Earth is flat is not as dangerous as someone saying that all Democrats are dangerous.
I guess that's fair, but anybody who's willing to believe whatever they hear or read and not check sources, I don't love that.
So one of the things that has been cited to me by the person that I know who is a flat earther is that the Bible says, from the east to the west. So they think that is proof that the earth is flat because it's not, I think it's like, I love you from the east to the west or whatever. I don't know what the verse is because I don't care. But they're like, if the earth was round, then God would have said around the world, but not follow you from the east to the west.
There are so many layers of stupid in that.
There are so many layers of stupid in people who use anything from the Bible to prove anything current day, but I digress.
There's at least one layer of stupid in that. At least one layer in saying the Bible proves blah, blah, blah. Well, if you don't believe in the Bible, then that matters not.
Exactly.
To you.
Yeah.
Like it's not a legal document, okay?
Anyways. It is, in fact, not a legal document, and we are still not here to discuss our relationship with the Bible because I could go on 4 days.
So join us next week when we will be talking about online dating. What's your relationship to online dating? I married one of the dudes I met online, and Ivy's never dated, so this should be interesting.
That is accurate. And I also
Please tune in for that.
I cannot sign up for any dating apps just to research because I am married.
That's okay. I can tell you everything you want to know. So I think Ivy might just interview me next week about
that'll be fun.
We'll sound like we're on NPR.
Make you really uncomfortable with my questions.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So what do our listeners do if they want to get in touch with us, Ivy?
Well, they can send us an email to contact@toxicwasteoftime.com. They can also go to our Facebook page, which is Toxic Waste of Time, as well as our Instagram, which is also Toxic Waste of Time.
That's right. If you send us a comment or an email or interact with us in any way whatsoever, you will be entered to win a 8x10 glossy print of me and Ivy with big anime titties on the surface of Mars that I'm going to commission one of my artist friends to draw. We're not going to have AI do it, even though that would be funny. I'm going to have a friend who's an artist actually draw it. Surprise,
Nice.
Ivy, I didn't tell you that.
That's great. Hey, did you know that you can now order a sixth finger so that when you take actual pictures, people will think it's AI?
That is funny. That is funny.
It's like a little ring. It has another finger on it.
I love that. Can I put acrylic nails on it?
I think so.
Because you'd be able to tell if it didn't have a nail.
Nice.
Hilarious.
So,
all right.
Join us next week when we talk about online dating. And in the meantime, if you could email us, leave us a comment, leave us a 5-star review. I heard that really helps the algorithm. It gets us out there. We would like to get out there into the interwebs where you guys are finding your friends. And after next week, you'll learn how to find your new romantic love interest.
Maybe. You'll certainly learn how not to.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, thank you guys all for listening. We know you're listening. We have tons of downloads every month. It's just that all of you guys are too afraid to tell us.
Yeah, you listen and then you go, see ya.
Poof.
Yeah. Just give us just click the five stars.
I need validation.
Give us
Tell me I'm
something.
good.
Yeah. You obviously like us. Now say it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.